Welcome to Failing Forward. This show is all about the other side of success. We talk to entrepreneurs, leaders, and innovators who aren't afraid to share the mistakes they've made. Because if there's one thing I know for sure, it's this. Every setback is just a setup for something bigger, if you're willing to learn from it. All right, and we're back for episode 11 of the Failing Forward podcast, the number one podcast in Youngstown, Ohio, self-proclaimed. Today we've got a guest I'm really excited to have with us, Mr. Matt Longmire from Valley Partners. Matt and I met, it's been a few years ago, working on a grant program with Valley Partners where they provide education to entrepreneurs, business owners over a series of classes, and then provide them with an opportunity to receive some grant funds to help them pay for accounting and legal services for starting up their business. So excited to have you here, Matt, with us today.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be on the pod. I'm a big fan of the pod. I'm an avid listener, so just to be on is an honor. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thanks,
excited
brother.
to have you.
Absolutely.
So we'll kick back to our roots here and talk about Matt's coffee order before we get going, so people can get to know Mr. Matt Longmire a little bit better. So we asked him ahead of time, since we're here at Stone Fruit Studios, what's your go-to coffee order? And go ahead and tell us your go-to coffee order in the morning, Matt.
Yep. So got to start off with a medium hot caramel coffee, 3 sugar, 3 cream.
3 sugar is aggressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 3 sugar, 3 creams.
And some caramel in there.
And some caramel.
Ready to
Absolutely.
go.
I think the move is like you got to, shoot the coffee, you got to eat the sugar, and then you got to chase it with the creams. You know what I mean?
That's it.
If you do it that way, it just seems like a party to get the day started.
Absolutely.
Right? So what the LLM of our choice, which is Claude this week, tells us about you is that you're unapologetically yourself. You know exactly what you want. You don't care if it's too sweet or not sophisticated enough. No pretense about ordering black coffee or an espresso just to seem cool. Creature of comfort. You're consistent, loyal. The level of specificity of 3 sugars,
Yes.
3 creams, medium hot caramel suggests you found your thing and you're sticking with it.
That's it.
I dig that.
I like it.
that.
Yeah.
Practical optimist.
I love that. I've
Yes.
never heard that terminology like that before, but I'm a fan already.
Like, and I think that nails you, Matt. Like that one in particular, when we would go to these sessions and I would teach a class. They're on Tuesdays.
Yes.
And so Matt would start off the session with a Good News Tuesday.
That's it. That's it.
And we'd go around the room and people would share their story. So what prompted that whole Good News Tuesdays thing? What got that thing going?
Right. So what better way to start off a class at that time of the day than with good news? We realized that, I realized that a lot can happen within a week's time, right? But I believe that throughout the entire week, something good can happen within a week.
day.
Every
Yeah,
day,
every
right?
day, right?
So I like to start off with Good News Tuesday because good news is contagious. That's what I say. I always start off, no matter how major the win, no matter how many the win, what they both have in common, they're both wins.
Yep.
They're both wins. So we like to start off with good news, and we've heard some news as far as someone getting their student loans forgiven.
That's not bad news.
Over
Yeah, that's pretty
100,000.
good. That's good.
We've had that. Well, then we also had some good news to where they stuck to their diet for a week.
Yeah.
Meaning they ate healthy for a week. So they're both good news. So no matter how major or many, I like to start off with good news. And it's contagious because then when someone says this happened, then another person says, oh yeah, something else happened to me too. So I always like to start the class off with some good news before we get into the business of.
And it's a Tuesday thing too. I mean, we meet with our team every Tuesday, and then we do the same thing. We start off with gratitudes.
Yes.
What are you thankful for? I mean, it's a Tuesday thing. We love that. I love that. It gets everybody thinking. I mean, sometimes you had maybe not the best morning, but then you get to show up here and talk to your friends, the family you choose at the office about something great that happened.
Sure. And if someone is struggling to find good news that happened, my grandmother used to always say 2 things that happened. You woke up and you got up. those two things.
Right.
You're
At a
mad
minimum, right? That's not so
right.
bad.
At least we know we have something to talk about. So you woke up and you got up. So I like that gratitude. So that's how we like to present every Tuesday. With
Love it.
That
It's the right perspective. And it's a perspective that so many of us don't get as often as we should, because you did get out of bed today.
That's it.
Right? You did do something that you can look back on that was a positive. And I go through that exercise with my kids. We've talked about it on the pod before, where I like to ask my kids, what did someone do that was kind for you today? What did you do for someone else that was kind today? And like, if you have that consistent cadence in our leadership meetings, at your Good News Tuesdays, people come to expect it too, right? So then they're out looking for it. They're out seeking the good. They're out seeking the kind. They're out seeking those things, because it's so easy to seek and see those bad things and say, oh, well, this went wrong today, and this went wrong today. And if you look for it, you can find the things that went wrong, you can find things that went well. But I love that, man. I think that's one of the most effective ways to start anything out, is to just, you jump in with the right attitude.
That's right.
When I come to these meetings, I talk about accounting. We talk about the world's most exciting topic. It gets everybody jacked.
100%.
You know what I mean? Everybody's walking out of the room like, yeah, let's go. But I come in and I typically start, and a lot of this is because of Matt. Like the original infrastructure of my presentation was really, the core of it was about accounting and finances, and it's extremely important, and it ties back to the grant program. But we try to mix some other things into those conversations too. And one of the things that we do is we make everybody stand up at the beginning. All right. Everybody in that room stands up, and we get in the Superman pose, put our hands on our hip, pretend my hair is flowing in the wind, pretend my cape is flying behind me. And, one of my favorite books that I talk about in that session is a book called Presence by Amy Cuddy. And it talks about those nonverbals and how you show up, and why that matters in the context of your life in general, whether it's professional, whether it's your personal relationships. Like, if you show up with that right attitude and you show up like you're a superhero, you get a better chance of being a superhero.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
So, I mean, that's just something that I've always loved. I was immediately attracted to your personality through that, because like, it just made sense, and it took something that was otherwise not the sexiest of topics, and we turned it into something that was a little bit more fun as a result of that.
Absolutely.
So I think, we've had, how many cohorts have we gone through now?
We are now finishing up our 6th cohort. Wow.
6
Happens
cohorts.
fast.
So
6.
There's typically how many in each group?
About 25.
25 people in each group.
25 people are in each cohort. Yep.
Okay. And then the distribution of funds for the group is, how much are they each getting each year?
Yep. Each participant in the program, they're required to submit a completed business plan of their business and do a 60-second pitch, which we like to call feedback from funders. Once they complete those, $8,000 is then dispersed to their selected accountant and or an attorney, or both, to help that client with those services, to have that solid foundation. So when they go, if they wish to pursue capital, at least we know that on the accounting side and on the legal side, they'll be in the best position to receive the resources that they need.
Yeah, and that's usually the hardest part for us. People tend to just get in there and get by trying to do it themselves, and now it's a little different with ChatGPT and some of the other options. But just that initial footing of, here's how you set up your books. Here are the questions to ask. It's just this jumping off point that is really special for entrepreneurs who may have never done this before.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's our twist, because we like to say the purpose of the feedback from the funders is, let's say you're out with your family or your friends and you run into an investor. You get to talking to that investor. They're interested in investing in your business. What are you going to say? If that investor asks that participant, what do you do?
What's next? Yeah, you got an answer.
You got to be ready. We don't want to have the hold on. We want to be each participant to be equipped and confident in their business and in themselves, that this is what I do. This is my target audience. This is the problem I identified, and this is the strategy and or tactic that I'm doing to solve the problem that I believe my business is able to solve.
Like Shark Tank elevator
Yes,
pitch, right?
yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's what
right.
it is,
Yeah.
right?
But I mean, there's something to be said about that. Going back to the book Presence and the theories that are described there is when you show up and you're prepared.
Yes.
And you show up and you know what you're talking about. You have that confidence to be able to show that not just to investors, but to potential customers, to bankers, to potential partners, to potential vendors. I mean, you've got to be prepared. You've got to be ready. And one of the things that we talk about, and when I come in and speak, is the number one failure for a business is lack of capitalization. You just don't have the funds to do things right. And what most businesses do when they're getting started, especially in the demographic of the Youngstown market, there's a lot of people that where there's grit here. There's people that want to work hard. There's grinders, people that have great ideas to build these businesses, but they don't have the resources around them to understand how to do it right. So what happens is they start off doing it wrong. And they don't put people on payroll correctly. They don't pay sales tax. They don't have an understanding of how much money they're making in that business. And they make mistakes and they make false profits, right? And we talk about false profits a lot in those conversations because those false profits, you can succeed your way to failure with those false profits because you set your price point at a certain point. You get people bought into the business that you have. You get people excited about it. And then all of a sudden, you have this demand that continues to increase and your demand goes up and you're losing money on everything that you're doing because you're not doing it right, right? And so we talked about it last time where you're one letter away from being out of business, right? You're one
IRS
IRS
Yeah.
notice, right? Yeah. One sales tax notice, one Department of Labor notice, one notice away from all the blood, sweat, and tears that you put in this business just get evaporated in a day if you don't do it correctly. So, I mean, I love this program that they're doing. I've never seen anything like it here in our community. It's one of those things where if you just give people money to spend however they want to spend, there is a much lower rate of success in the distribution of those funds. Yeah. Whereas if you say to them, here's this grant program, we're going to use it specifically for this. You're going to get your chart of accounts set up. You're going to get your accounting system set up. You're going to have your operating account and your legal documents set up correctly. Then you can start off on the right foot. And then you're not in that position where false profits can ultimately fail your business in the future.
You get to learn from other people's mistakes. It's the failing forward everybody else. We've seen it a bunch of times. Yeah. I mean, you have somebody you can call when you have that question that pops up because we've definitely seen this multiple times.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in each cohort, how many classes?
6.
6 classes.
6 weeks, 1 class per week.
Okay. So I know, our class, we talk about financial statements. Kenny McBride from our team comes in and talks about cash flow statements. So we know that, 2 out of those 6 are specific to accounting and finances. But I know that we've got some other guest speakers that come in and cover some other areas. So what are the other 4 topics that get discussed with the cohort?
Yep. So week 1 is normally the foundation week, where we talk about the business plan, the different sections of a business plan. We dissect each of the 9 sections of the business plan. And I always like to tell the participants, I'm just laying the framework. I'm just building a good, solid foundation so when the other presenters come, you all will at least have a good knowledge of where to start. So week 1 is normally business plan development. Week 2 is 2 classes. The first half is insurance because you want to make sure you're insured properly. Then on the second half is legal. You want to make sure that you're legally covered as far as your business is concerned with operating agreements, partnership agreements. All that pertains to legal. The third week is understanding tax returns, Schedule Cs, partnership K1s, making sure that they have an understanding of what is a Schedule C. So a professional will come in and teach that. And then marketing.
Good.
Yep. So not only, for example, the 4 Ps of marketing, but the additional 3 Ps of marketing for service providers. So we have a marketing rep come in and teach that. And then we ended with, of course, Tim, you come in and talk about balance sheet, income statements, and then Kenny McBride with cash flow statements.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And we talked about last time about taxes and told people that taxes are a good thing. And I know not everybody wants to hear that, right? But like at the end of the day, paying taxes means you're making money. And I know that that's like the most accountant thing to say. You know, somebody comes in and they're paying a bunch of taxes, and I'm like, it's a good problem to have.
Well, there's
doesn't
a
make it
difference.
any easier to write the check. I get it.
It's a
But-
cash flow thing or not. Right? You know, like, it's
Exactly.
Hopefully.
But I mean, we see so many people that they start their business off, and the way that they view taxes is very negatively.
Yes.
And they say, "Oh, well, I have to get my financial statements done to do my taxes." They're not saying I have to get my financial statements done to understand my business throughout the year. They're saying I got to get these financials done to give it to my accountant. I got to take in my shoe box full of receipts and whatever other crap so they can do my taxes. And the moral of the story ultimately becomes, let's find a bunch of deductions and let's pay the least amount of taxes possible, right? And listen, I am obligated as a CPA to help my clients pay the least amount of taxes legally possible. But in some of those circumstances, if you're artificially dropping the profit of that business and you're not paying taxes, when you inevitably need to go to a bank and get a line of credit or get a loan for a piece of equipment or something like that, they look at the tax return and they say, buddy, you ain't making any
no
money.
money.
Or even that succession plan piece of the puzzle, like to get out of this at some point. Want to make sure you're showing that profit.
Yeah, I mean,
appropriately.
if you want to eventually ever sell that business, that business has got to be making money. And that's the conversation we start to have with our clients now. We get to cover all ends of the spectrum. At the beginning, working with Valley Partners and these new businesses that come in the door at our firm. But then we also work on the other side of the equation, people that are on the tail end and think about selling the business and succession planning and whatever else that they're doing. So the same conversation applies is that, hey, now you're at the tail end of your business. If I come in as a potential buyer of your business, I'm buying what that business is making.
Absolutely.
And so many people come in and say, oh, well, there's some cash we don't put on the tax return, or there's
Like,
this, that, or the
me.
other expense that we're writing off that we really shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And I tell them, I say, listen, your business, the value of your business is associated with risk.
That's good.
And if I'm looking at that tax return and there is risk and uncertainty because you're telling me that the business actually makes $100,000 a year, but I look at the tax return and it only makes 50, I'm paying for the business that makes 50. The 100 is my win, not yours. And that's the thing that people don't always understand, and they kind of shoot themselves in the foot. So, getting people to understand at the beginning of your business, setting it up correctly, showing the right amount of profit, making sure that it's structured so you're still paying the least amount of taxes. Maybe instead of being a sole proprietor, maybe you should be, filing as an S corporation or a C corporation or something else for this, that, or the other reason. But at the end of the day, getting people of that mindset to say taxes are okay. They're a thing that we need to pay. They're a thing that is a true mark and symptom of success. But the key to that is just paying attention throughout the year.
That's it.
Rather than putting it in a shoebox
That's
and
it.
worrying about it at the end of the year. That's what a lot of people do when it comes to money, is like money and taxes become this thing that people are uncomfortable with. They're fearful of it because they don't understand it. Right?
Well, especially in the market conditions right now, when do you want to pay tax? At the current set of rates that we have, or what is it going to be like in 10 years? We talk about that all the time. We have a lot to pay for.
Well, I mean, these are
in the
historically the
future.
lowest tax rates we've ever seen in the history of this country. And, there are some people that are just so associated with just push snowball down, push snowball. And then that snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden we go back to like pre-Reagan tax rates when we got to pay for rebuilding the infrastructure of this country. And all of a sudden, people forget pre-Reagan, the top tax bracket was 70%. Like, we got some old tax returns in our building from, some of the old practices we bought. And it's like, again, very nerdy accountant thing to say, but it's pretty cool to see one of those tax returns and seeing 70%.
Right.
It's like, man, we're complaining about paying 25, 30, shit, 40%, 70%. That means that, whatever, you're working 9 months out of the year for Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Months you're working for yourself. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a mentality shift. It's one of those things. It's just important to educate people about. And I think that this grant program does a great job of that. My hope is that this thing just keeps snowballing.
Absolutely.
And you guys continue to get the right funding.
Yes.
And I think what we need to be focused on is finding those success stories, right? Finding those people that have come out of that program and then go on to build something great, or go on to build something even just good.
Yes.
Right? Because what would they have done on their own without that assistance?
Yeah.
And, once we can show that compounding effect of those grants, then you get more people behind it, you get more funding behind it. And then eventually those dollars could grow. And instead of $8,000, now all of a sudden people are getting $50,000 over a period of time. And we're funding this gap because we have this phenomena right now, especially in our community, called the silver tsunami. And we talk about it a bunch. It's the exodus of the baby boomer generation, right? Most commercial bank owners in our region specifically are 50 to 60 years old. So you have a high concentration of people that own these businesses and own this wealth in that generation, and that's going to get handed down to someone else now. And there's got to be mechanisms in place to teach people, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's something that's exciting about our community in the Youngstown-Warren region. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, Matt, was you're from my perspective, you're a bit of a unicorn. Okay. You have a unique outlook on life. You have a unique work ethic, and we're going to talk about where that comes from and how that was built into you. But we need to tell more stories about the opportunities that lie here in our community in the Youngstown-Warren region, right? Because we need more Matt Longmires. We need more people that
Hundreds
bring
of
that.
them. We could get
Thousands of Matt Longmires would be amazing, because if we did, we'd have such a different energy in this community. We would have that, optimism and positivity and that golden retriever energy that Uncle Baby Billy brings to the office every day. It's infectious, right? So, what are the things from your perspective? You're not originally from here. You're not originally from the Youngstown-Warren area. You've started to establish some roots here, but born and raised in Twinsburg, the city of the Big Banger party for the
Let's
Twins.
Let's go.
I want to go.
We gotta go.
We gotta go.
Can
Let
we
me know
can we
next time.
pretend to be twins? Will you shave
I'll
your
have to
head
put
for
on
that?
like some definitely thicker soles.
Yeah.
I'll shave my head.
We'll just go and pretend to be twins for Twin Day. That'll be good.
You have to shave your face. I'll shave my head.
Twins. There you go.
It's not gonna work.
Perfect.
So you end up here in Youngstown, and we're going to kind of talk through the story of how you ultimately end up getting here. But, when you think about the next step of your life, you're 36 years old, you're establishing your roots in a variety of different ways, professionally, personally. What are the things that are attractive to you about staying here? What would make it so you look at it and say, why the hell would I go anywhere else?
Right. Great question. Great buildings doesn't make a great community. Great programs doesn't make a great community. Great people are what makes great, strong communities. And I tell this all the time. The Youngstown-Warren, this region, is a strong, close-knit community. Very strong. May not be the biggest, but it's the strongest. It's one of the strongest regions that I've ever known. So to answer your question, first is the people. You will have the opportunity to learn and grow to set yourself up for future success. So that's one, is the people, the opportunity to grow. And two, and I know we're going to talk about this later on. I've been here for working in Youngstown a few years now. It's the momentum here is just amazing. I know we all heard about the coming of the Kimberly-Clark company here. That's amazing. So the momentum here in this region is second to none. So those opportunities to grow and the cost of living, to start a family. I'll say this. If you want to start a business here in this region, the resources are at your fingertips. Yeah. If you're not out doing the work yourself, that's on you. Because there are plenty of resources here that will help you put yourself in better position to create that generational wealth for you and your family.
Yep.
You just have to put in the work. So
There's some crazy success stories in our community
Absolutely.
about that. I mean, Bruce Olden's one of my favorite. I mean, Phantom Fireworks is now the largest privately held fireworks company in the United States. And Bruce started selling fireworks out of the trunk of his car.
see, wow.
I mean, and this guy he gives back to this community. He's supportive of the university. He's supportive of all the different charities and nonprofits and the chamber and all these other things. Like, a lot of those people give back, but there's so many of those stories. It's like, my man started selling fireworks out of the trunk of his car, has now accumulated this unbelievable business and fortune for his family and generations to come. So telling those stories over and over again, talking about the grant people and telling their success stories, but telling any of those stories too, to say, you can do it here.
Absolutely.
And it's possible. And it's not like you're in this sea of people, like when you walk through New York City and everybody's just got their head down. You know, here, like, there's an excitement, there's support, there's something about wanting to see people be able to create something of magnitude.
In Handles too. I go to Handles every Sunday. Every Sunday at 5:00 after the Browns win. But
So
you never go to Handles then? Is that what you're saying?
You just drive by like, I wish I could.
They're here all day. So that's a tradition. It's Handles Sunday, 5:00.
That's amazing.
And it's from Youngstown.
Yep.
So it's so many success stories that are birthed from this region that are rooted here but have national influence and impact. So I say, why not Youngstown?
That's right.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's right.
Why not?
You know, what was eye-opening to me was I've been lucky enough to go on some lobbying trips with our local chamber to D.C., and I'm not a lobbyist by any stretch of the imagination. Politics is not my jam, but like, they asked me to come because they said, we need to show unification. We need to show collaboration. We need to show that there are people with the right titles that are interested in the change in our community. Yeah. And number one, I was always impressed by who showed up, right? Some of the biggest names in town community all show up together on a unified front. And then you get there and you talk to these senators and you talk to these congresspeople and they say, there's not another community in the state that has this kind of collaboration.
Wow.
You are the strongest group to come here and have a unified voice. And that's the first time that's ever happened in my professional career here in Youngstown, because for so many years it was always Youngstown versus Warren or Democrats versus Republicans or whatever excuse we had, Ursuline versus Mooney, whatever it was, to just have some, something against one another. But we're finally seeing that collaboration and that idea of we can go really far together as a group of people.
And I like to say, as Youngstown goes, so goes Ohio.
Yeah.
As Ohio goes, so does the country. Starts right here in Youngstown.
Yeah. I mean, it is the heart of it all in the state of Ohio. No doubt about it. I mean, I tell people in Youngstown, I say, we're directly in between New York City and Chicago. We're directly in between Pittsburgh and Cleveland. We've got access to the lake. We've got access to the river. I mean,
between Buffalo and Columbus. I don't know what else.
I'm our resident Bills fan. I mean, we'll get us talking about the Bills, and Billy will be breaking some white tables.
Very nice.
I gotta jump off from heights, though, man.
Yeah. All right, so let's change course here a little bit, and let's talk about everybody's favorite subject, Cleveland Browns. This is not a sports podcast, but this is a podcast about failures.
I see what you did.
And
I like the representation, though, at least.
This whole thing.
Win or lose.
This whole thing is just something to
Win or lose. I mean, you show up the next day.
Absolutely.
And, you're still
loyal to the soil.
100. There's that whole trend right now. I don't know if it's on TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is. It's, the ladies are posting pictures of, how do I know he's going to stay loyal? And then they zoom in on the guy's shirt and it's like a Browns logo. You're like, that's how they know.
I love it.
That should be like a Tinder question. Right?
What is your favorite sports team?
What's your favorite sports team and how long have you been loyal to them?
Yeah, if you were a Cowboys fan in the 90s and then you became a Patriots fan,
that don't count.
It's not it. It's not your guy.
I can see some serious loyalty points going forward.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So if you're Jimmy Haslam calls you
Yes.
later today, all right, and says, Matt, You got the keys to the Cleveland Browns kingdom.
Yes.
What's your first move?
First move is evaluating our quarterback room, right? Because in 2025, we had 7 quarterbacks on our roster since training camp. No other team has had that many quarterbacks, but the Browns.
Right.
So because that's arguably the most important position in sports,
Fair.
is a quarterback.
Easily.
See
Right.
what we have.
Yeah.
What we have first, because that would determine our strategy next year.
Yeah.
Because we have 2 first-round picks next year.
So just to be clear, we're already on to next year.
Here's the thing.
It's October. I just want to clarify that statement.
Right. Well,
Right.
It's okay to say
let me
yes.
say
It's
that.
okay. It's
Well,
like
see-
Jimmy, not this year, man.
Yeah.
You know?
we got to know what we have. I know the game yesterday, it was a disaster. We looked terrible.
The kicker looked better.
He looked. he did. He did.
Golden Retriever energy.
I love it. I love the optimism.
Yeah.
But we got to see what we have there, and then two, I would talk to the coach and get a very solid offensive game plan because it's too inconsistent on offense. Everything rises and falls on leadership, so we don't have an identity and we don't really have that leader of the
Yep.
team, like the Steelers or other like the Detroit Lions or other teams.
Yeah.
So we got to establish who our leader, who's the face.
Well, and, I mean, leadership starts at the top,
That's it.
right? And if we're talking about the Browns, there is one person that is ultimately accountable for the team's failures. It's the owner.
That's it.
I mean, at the end of the day, you got to own that. And I've heard from multiple sources that at the owner's meeting, you know who is successful and who isn't.
Wow.
Because you go to the owner's meeting, there's certain people that are there on time. There's certain people that are there early. There are certain people there that are attentive, that are paying attention to things.
Prepared, ready
You know,
to go.
and,
Yeah.
and you could probably guess what organizations have those types of owners.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I know that, a local family here, the Yorks and the DeBartolos that own the San Francisco 49ers that are perpetually one of the best sports franchises, period.
Sure.
They take it seriously. They show up. They're on time. They stay late. They do the things they need to show up for. But you got to assume that there is some lack of real, authentic, true leadership at the top because you almost have to try to be this bad for this long. Like,
It's embarrassing, man.
Yeah.
It's the hardest job in sports.
yeah,
Being a Browns fan, it's the hardest job.
there is no doubt about it.
No, it's
Like, there's only one good month being a Browns fan. August.
August, the draft. Well, you take it to the Guardian side too, and it's tough to be a fan. There's not a lot of true success. And even in my life, I'm a Guardians fan, I'm a Cavs fan.
Right.
You get one championship, right?
Yeah.
Especially, as a Bills fan, throw that in there. There's a little bit of pain behind these eyes. I'm like, no, I mean, but it is hard. Like that, being a Cleveland fan is tough in
tough.
general, right?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Jimmy gave me the keys for a day, I'd fire him.
that's hilarious.
You know what I mean? Like,
He spends money. I mean, maybe they just need to swap, like put him in charge of the Guardians, put him in the baseball side,
Yeah.
and let him go
serious.
nuts.
listen,
right?
this may be
Yeah.
the end of my prospective Cleveland Browns consulting career, but I think that would just be step one. Is
we
all right,
have a-
Jimmy, you're fired.
We have a championship caliber defense that we're wasting.
1,000,000%.
I mean, we are at one point we had the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah,
at
you
one
have,
point.
you have the scariest human being,
Literally.
in the NFL on that team. Miles
Yes.
Garrett is a
And he's
terrifying human.
He's the nicest guy too,
Right,
Other
right.
than when he's like hitting people in the
Yeah,
head
I mean,
with the helmet.
it's remarkable. I've seen the man on a basketball court, and
It's a windmill.
it's scary.
It's crazy.
I mean, a person that is that big and that strong should not be that fast.
Yeah.
Should not be able to jump that high. Like it is just unbelievable the athlete that man is. So, all right. Well, I'm not going to screw up the rest of anybody else's day by talking about the Cleveland Browns, but I figured we'd have to sneak that in there.
No.
All right, so let's talk about the Matt kind of origination story here. We've got on the pod so far, we've had a lot of people that have had long, storied, tenured careers and have had a long list of failures along the way. And we wanted to mix some things up here and have somebody like yourself that's you're in the prime of your career. You're getting things started. You've had some early successes. You've had some early failures. You've had some good lessons along the way to get you here. But now we're trying to, cross this bridge of taking these generational wins and generational successes and figuring out how we close that gap.
Yeah.
And we assist people like ourselves that are in that prime how to wake up and see the opportunity in front of them. So grow up in Twinsburg High School.
Yes.
Kent State,
Flashes.
Golden Flashes.
That's right.
Home of Antonio Gates.
Nick Saban went
Nick-
there.
Julian Edelman,
That's
Josh
another one.
Cribbs,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
I mean,
there's a
they're-
long list of
James Harrison.
James Harrison,
a
Debo,
few.
my guy.
and,
yeah, I
Matt,
love
and
him.
Matt Longmire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Matt
Matt
Longmire.
Longmire. That's right.
in there.
That's right.
So you
Lou
go
Holtz.
you go to Kent State and you study business.
Yes.
There with the idea of eventually going to law school.
That is right.
right.
Yes.
So he wanted to be Harvey Specter.
It suits.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
I
was the
mean,
man.
I'd love to have a Donna. Like
Right.
that's unbelievable. So you go to school, you get out, you take the LSATs, and you get slapped in the face.
Yes.
What happens?
Yes. I was going in there confident, but wasn't a good test taker. So I was confident though. I did everything. I took the LSAT pre-exam.
Well, it's half the battle.
Yes.
Yeah, you know,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
just the
Right.
other half.
But then I got the scores and they weren't where I needed them to be. So to apply to, I had proactively got recommendation letters from the owner of the company I was previously with, dean of Kent State, one of the dean of a school during the Kent State college. He wrote me a letter. I thought I was going to be going to law school, going to be Harvey Specter or Rich Paul, like LeBron's agent, or a Billy Bean, the former GM of the Oakland A's.
Yeah.
Moneyball, baby.
All three in one.
Some combo. in
Right,
there.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. That's where I wanted to. I thought I was going because also I thought being a lawyer, they had those transferable skills.
Right. Much like accounting.
Absolutely.
Yep. It applies to just about everything.
Yes. Didn't get the results. Got declined. I felt low. Got down, and had to. Oh, so what's next? I went back to how I was raised. Work.
Yep.
So I could continue to work and had jobs along the way. So I didn't just stop and quit and give up. I pivoted and adjusted, and then worked my way.
And sometimes you got to take. You got to take it. You got to take that punch in the face.
Absolutely.
You're going to get knocked down. You got to get yourself back up. You got to figure out what's next. Absolutely. The reality of the situation is that our dreams are one thing, and our skill set and our abilities are another.
Yep.
I wanted to be Jerry Maguire. I've had
There's still time for that.
I did. We might still be able to have that happen. You never know, right? So there was something in you that I saw right away in how when we were working together, but I didn't really realize it until we were prepping for the pod. But there's an entrepreneurial spirit in your family.
Yes.
Right? And your father had a business that you worked at.
Yes.
What was that business?
He owned a cleaning company. So I started when I was 7. I'll tell the story all the time. I started when I was 7, going with my...
Just to make sure our statute of limitations, labor law is good for Matt's dad.
29 years
This
ago.
is theoretical. Yeah, it's been a long time. So
Yeah.
it's
It's a
close the
common,
book. Part of
common
labor.
thread so far, isn't
Absolutely.
it? A lot of people who have been on have started at, 12. 7, I think, is the youngest so far. But, 12, 15, getting those jobs and starting early.
Yeah.
Getting
Yeah.
that experience,
I was
right?
just learning the work ethic of
right.
what he knew I would eventually need in my lifetime going forward. So I would just go with him to different offices all over Northeast Ohio, downtown Cleveland. One of my fondest memories of when the Guardians, we used to hear the crowd roar. That's when we were good.
Yeah.
But we used to clean an office a block away. So I used to stand outside the building and just hear the team. So that's one of my fondest memories. So
cool.
Yeah, learning those, being instilled that work ethic from a young age, because I knew that he knew that I'm going to have to work hard no matter what.
Right.
So,
That's a core principle that you can teach your children no matter what your situation is to learn how to work hard.
Yeah.
And whether that's working hard in your career, whether that's working hard in your playing sports or whatever it is, like you can instill that in your children to have that work ethic. And that was something that was like very very obvious to me when we first met. And that was something I always look for when we interviewed people at our firm was, what did their parents do for a living? And, that tells you a lot about somebody. And it's not to say that people that have parents that are school teachers or union employees or this, that, or the other are terrible workers or terrible employees, but there is something that's just built in you. Like if you're working at 7, if you're showing up to work with dad and you're seeing dad working his butt off every day, you're seeing him leave early, you're seeing him come home late, you're there with him, taking out the trash and doing out whatever you have to do to help him out. Like there's just something that just gets ingrained in you to understand that you need to work hard.
Absolutely.
And like that, from my perspective, I've had this blessing of being able to see successful people and not successful people in our industry. We get to know, hey, they look successful on the outside, but we also get to see, hey, do they have the money that truly defines success? Are they stressed out? Are they living their life? Right. The common thread amongst all of them is really work ethic.
That's it.
Is like they're showing up every day. They get it. They're hungry for it. They find passion in whatever it is that they're doing. Like you can find passion in doing anything that you're doing. I mean, if you're cleaning, I mean, Adam told us a great story about, one of the cleaning people that he ran into, and he said, the guy that was cleaning, he's like, I know that if I clean this office well, these people are going to do a good job.
That's good.
They're going to have a clean place to come to work every day. They're going to have, some level of comfort in being able to do this every day. But it's like there's something about just finding that right perspective.
That's right. And in that industry, I like to call them, they're on the front line.
Yeah.
Before a customer or a client walks in your office, you want to have a clean presentation.
Yeah, right.
So I always have a great respect for what does the office look like.
Yeah.
It's taking pride in what you do, no matter what you do, right? When you wake up, if you're gonna show up, you might as well show out. Go way over and above. I mean, you're there.
Yeah.
It's not that much extra effort, to be honest, right?
Yeah, and when it comes to work ethic, let's take basketball, the NBA. We're about to enter the NBA season. Michael Jordan and LeBron James, two of arguably the top 2 basketball players of all time.
Just not get into that one, but yeah, we skipped that.
Arguably. Kobe's up there too.
Yeah.
No one outworks them. As talented as Steph Curry is, no one shoots more jump shots than Steph Curry. We just see the results on TNT whenever the game is on. But we don't see the thousands of hours, let alone shots of preparation that they put in day in and day out. Which we see the fruit of their labor, the results of their work. So it starts with hard work. No matter how talented does play a part.
It's John Daly versus Tiger Woods.
Right. Talent does play a part.
If he was out there working like Tiger was, and maybe
maybe have a few more on it. Right.
A little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
But it starts with that that foundation of work ethic.
Yeah.
Preparation, man. I mean, it's just it to me is the foundation of success.
Yes.
Is preparation, is putting in the work, is putting in the time. Like it's not about just putting in a ton of hours. It's about putting in the right kind of hours. It's game planning. It's preparing. It's you look at athletes. It's the simplest way to draw that correlation. Your Tom Brady's, your Peyton Manning's, your Michael Jordan's, your LeBron James, your Tiger Woods, whatever. Like they're taking thousands of shots. Tom Brady's throwing thousands of balls. Like these people are just putting in the work over and over and over again every day. So like there is that common thread to be able to compare sports, business, and life in general is that if you stay prepared and you're putting in the work for whatever it is that you're passionate about, you're going to find some level of success. Sure. Because there's so many businesses out there and there's so many people that are accidentally finding success. They were in the right place. They were in the right time. Those businesses tend to be kind of a flash in the pan. They don't last and stand the true test of time. The businesses and the successful people that stand that test of time are the ones that are just continuously improving. They're continuously learning. It's never good enough. They're watching their failures. It's the LeBron James mentality is like his ability to recall is freakish. Like he can, after a game, he can recite to you every play that happened in that game.
That's right.
I've seen him recall things in the post game interview that I'm like, how did he remember? And then he remembers, this is what I did. This is what I should have done. This is what I'm going to do differently next time. Right? Like, you don't stay relevant in the NBA up until you're 40 years old unless you've got some unbelievable cognitive ability to pay attention to what's happening, and being adaptive to the things that you need to change in your game. So
we have an opportunity too. It's a little different from some of those guys. Like, we get to surround ourselves with people who motivate us in the right way, right? If you're not happy at your position now, you can go somewhere else and find the right people for you. Sometimes I feel bad. Peyton Manning, that's how long did it take him to get a championship and to get the right people around him? And it's harder to do when you don't have the opportunity.
So you're saying Marvin Harrison and Edgerrin James and Dallas Clark were not the right.
I think it was the defense.
Come on,
really.
man. Listen,
but you know what I mean. They're driving that. Those greatest players of all time are driving that, and then letting someone else decide who else is on your team with you isn't always the best opportunity. Like, we have a little more freedom, and not that professional sports world. We get to really, jump ship to Miami. I feel like I'm in Miami right now. You get great people, you get all superstars on your team, and it's special.
Yeah, I believe that book, Good to Great, I believe Jim Collins, what he says, one thing to have the right people on the bus, but they're in the right seat.
That's right.
On the bus.
There's two pieces of it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So going back to what you said, it's good to be surrounded with the right people, not just anyone.
Yeah, and put those right people in the right seats. That's right seats, right people, right seats. Yeah. It's important. All right, so take a step back. You take the LSATs, doesn't go your way. Right. You reset, you get back up. Yep. You've got that entrepreneurial mindset. You've got that grit, that grind that your father's instilled in you, and have an opportunity to leave town.
Yep.
And now find yourself at Valley Partners.
Yes.
So you've been at Valley Partners in our community since
2022.
2022. So 3 years there. And at Valley Partners, what Valley Partners does, from my perspective, is helps people with financing in a variety of different ways. There's grants that you guys can help them find. There's SBA partnerships with various different banks. There's education. There's a variety of different ways that you can help people get capitalized appropriately. And you guys have seen a tremendous amount of growth since 2020.
Yes.
I mean, COVID was this jumping off point for a lot of different places. I mean, this was something that forced change in a lot of different areas. It forced a lot of money into the SBA programs, changed the infrastructure of the Small Business Administration, the PPP loans, and all those things, all those different grant programs that you guys helped administer. And so now you guys have got this momentum.
Yes.
And you're growing, you're expanding your reach, you're expanding the people that you're impacting. What do you see as what's coming? What's the next big opportunity that you guys are excited about there?
So continuing to serve this great region. As you all stated, we have a multiplicity of different loan programs that we can help our clients with. We are what is called a CDFI, Community Development Financial Institution, like a community bank. We just help serve what the government calls the underserved community, right? Which is why what we do is unique. Is one, we have a greater appetite for startup businesses,
and it's kind of level one, right? I mean, that's where they start, is with you.
Yes, yes. We provide that free technical assistance with business plan and financial projection development. We walk with our clients every step of the way, so they're not doing it alone. I tell them, I'm not just going to send you this document and say, good luck and call me when it's done, right? No. If you have any questions, I'm open off. Please feel free. Give me a call. Shoot me an email. We're here to help our clients every step of the way. We say we can't guarantee anything. The only thing I can guarantee is that you'll be in the best position to get the resources that you need. So we provide that. Just continue to grow our footprint and our reach. We want to continue, as we alluded to, that business, legal, and accounting grant program. We want to expand the office a little bit, some reconstruction and some development to have a broaden our footprint and our reach. Do some upgrades there with multiple classrooms, conference rooms. So yeah, we're just gonna continue to grow and I like to say serve.
Yeah,
we're gonna continue to serve the clients that need our help.
And that's, I mean, the wealth of resources people have in this community, you know, whether it's Valley Partners, it's the Youngstown Business Incubator, which I know you're very passionate about.
Love it.
And Will is on their committees and boards and very active in that organization. We've got the SBDC, Levi Miller, and down at Youngstown State. We've got Bright Energy incubators for energy startups. We've got all these cool resources for people that if they just knew existed.
Yeah.
If they just knew there was access to something that could help get them out of whatever situation that they're currently in.
That's right.
Because that's what we see a lot of in Youngstown is that, you know, when the steel mills left, there was this huge gap. And it was just this exodus of good paying jobs. It was this exodus of opportunity that happened for years. And we went, you know, largely the 80s, the 90s, all the way into the early 2000s where it was just that. It was just a bleed of population. It was a bleed of opportunity. And then, you know, I personally believe that, you know, the beginning of that change started when Mayor Jay Williams was here. And the 2010 plan and the strategies that he started to implement and the City of You campaign that what he kind of handed off to Mayor McNally and Mike McGiffin and all the great things that started to happen as a result of that. And then, you know, we saw that change happen 10 years later and some of those positive things start to happen, whether it's, you know, the America Makes facility and the additive manufacturing stuff that we've got going on, all the entertainment venues that have been doing really well in downtown Youngstown and some of the things that there's opportunities for there. I mean, there is a tremendous amount of resources for people here in this community, but like we have to continue to tell the stories.
Yes.
Because the stories that those people in our community get surrounded with are the stories of, I can't do that. And I had a great conversation with a friend the other day is, you know, he tells his kids, you know, when they say I can't, he says it's because someone has not showed you yet.
I like that.
Right?
That's good.
It's not an I can't. It's someone just hasn't showed you yet. Right? So if we have these resources available to these businesses in our community, it's no longer an I can't. Right? It's no longer I'm not going to be successful because my parents weren't. I'm not going to be successful because the generations of my family were not in this community since the 70s and since everybody left this town. Like that mindset is finally shifting and getting people to just accept the fact that it's not an I can't, it's an I haven't been shown yet. Right? And you guys at Valley Partners are helping to show people.
That's it.
And helping to show and open people's eyes to say, this is how this needs to be done. These are the resources that are available to you. So of the 6 cohorts, 25 people each cohort that have gone through this program, are there any stories that stand out to you that say this program changed this business, this program changed this person's life, this program was impactful in a way that I wasn't expecting?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So several comes to mind. Give one is a business, a daycare.
Yeah.
Yep. She wanted to apply for financing. So, but in order to do so, she needed some good financial statements. So she went through the program. After the 6 weeks, worked with an advisor, got all the documents together that she needed, along with some additional counseling. Then she went to her file, went to loan committee, and it was approved. And I can say part of that, I can argue and say this part, she went through that 6-week program. So because she learned the 360 view of her business. So we have many of stories just like that. Just folks who not just getting a financial statement, right? But understanding what it is that they're reading, balance sheet, assets equals liability plus owner's equity, right? it's one for me to hand them that, but it's another thing for them to understand it, digest it, and really comprehend
And
what it is.
make decisions based on that information, right?
Yes. That tells you where to pivot, where to adjust, what moves strategy-wise and tactical-wise to make next. So, so that's how she was able to get the resources that she needs.
And, I mean, one thing that you guys do, and I appreciate, is even if you can't help somebody, you know the people that can.
Yes.
Right. So even if people are like, they probably can't help me. It's like, call me.
Yeah.
I know Matt. I know, we have so many people in this community that are willing to step up and help in that situation. It's that networking where I see you every week. We don't work together. We work across the street, but it's when there are these events, you're there and you're getting the right people involved all the time. I'm assuming the rest of the partners are
Absolutely
local people too, just like us.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. That you're working with on the legal side.
Yep.
That's great.
And there is, a direct correlation to your network and your net worth.
That's it.
Right. Yep. And, the people that are trying to start these businesses out and don't have the right resources around them, their parents may have not had those opportunities either. They might have just worked at a good job, right? The parents might have both been school teachers. The grandparents might have been steel mill workers. That's what has been in our community for so long, is that we had this whole generation of people that only knew how to do one thing.
That's it.
Right? They and it was good enough, and it fed their families. And like my grandma had 6-7 kids in this tiny little house on the west side of Youngstown.
Full-time job.
And my grandpa worked at the steel mill. Grandma never had her driver's license.
That's amazing.
Right? So it's like at a certain point, that's what, that industrial exodus then hollows out the community because people don't understand what to do now. Right? That was the only way we knew how to live. Wow. We knew how to feed our families. So now there's, it takes a long time to get that shifted and get that mindset the right way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You just have to remain focused, right? I mean, we can't get complacent. We can't. I talk about that all the time. Mm-hmm. Just because you see it turning around, you got to keep that momentum rolling and foot on the gas every single day.
Let's go back to the consistency portion we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Got to be consistent.
Yeah. So what, from your perspective, what are the things that you're most excited about participating in now? So you've had your eyes now open to something different, right? You have a fundamental understanding of legal work because of what you were getting ready for in college. You have a fundamental understanding of the entrepreneurial journey because your father and what he instilled at you at a very early age. You're now getting exposed to capitalization of businesses and accounting and better understanding of how to start a business plan and all these other things. So is there something that you see in this community that you see as an opportunity that you would eventually like to get involved in? Are there industries that you're excited about? Are there things that you're seeing and say, okay, well, maybe if somebody came to me at Valley Partners and said, hey, I've got this business, I need some help, I need some consulting, I need some stuff like that. Like, what do you see as the opportunity here that would get a young, motivated person like yourself excited about putting the big roots down in this community and staying here for the rest of your life?
Yeah. If someone came and said, I have this tech/manufacturing idea, and with the spin with artificial intelligence, because we can't ignore that AI is here.
Yep.
It's here. That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That has changed. One could say it disrupted
That's
industries.
the best description. The
So,
disruption of this.
Okay.
Yes.
So it helped a lot of organizations run more efficiently.
Yep.
As you said, work smarter, not harder. So having that twist on it, that's I believe is a gap, and I believe that can be filled with that right business. For sure.
Yeah, and I see that. I mean, huge opportunity here in this community because there's so many of those, traditional manufacturing, tool and die, steel industry, whatever businesses here, and then you've got these big businesses coming to town. Whether it's Kimberly-Clark with this giant new facility.
Have you driven by that?
It's huge.
Oh my goodness, it's
Crazy.
I've never seen anything like it. Honestly.
That's an understatement, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's
wild.
ginormous.
It's crazy.
I mean, so like there's real investment happening in this community.
Yes.
There is the old industrial manufacturing infrastructure here. We've got some new technology that's getting spun up, but you see it just as clearly as we do. Is, if somebody came in and started to apply technology and AI and the manufacturing space here in this community, there could be a wild change here.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. That's an opportunity.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so what are the things in this town that you like to do for fun? What's your favorite part about living in this community, being active in this community? Pizza.
I'm from Twinsburg. We don't have what you are.
Yeah.
No good pizza in Twinsburg?
No. Sorry for anyone in Twinsburg who is watching the pod. We have Romeo's and Teresa. I know. But
we got Uptown right down the road from Belmont Avenue.
I like to tell a story about like what makes our pizza good here.
Yeah.
Because I got my eyes open to this not too long ago. There was a great pizza franchise here in town that was trying to expand.
Yeah.
And they were trying to go to Florida. They were trying to go to some other towns and figure this whole thing out. And they're making the pizza there, and it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not as good. And they're like, listen, it's the same recipe.
Yeah.
Right? It's grandma's old recipe. The sauce is the same. The bread is the same. All the fundamental ingredients are exactly the same. And I'm like, we can't make the damn pizza as good as we can in Youngstown.
That's right.
And so they come back and they're figuring it out and they're doing the analysis of where they bought everything. Turns out it's the water.
Wow.
So it's some combination
high
of
chlorine and fluoride. I don't know, what is it?
I mean, it's number one, it's the temperature of the water.
Okay.
It's the temperature of the water that's like native to the aquifers or whatever is actually coming out, right?
Interesting.
And then it's also the chemical composition, because what they did to test this thesis was they took the water out and they transported it there, and then went and made the same pizza in Florida with water from Youngstown, and it turned out to be the same pizza.
Definitely going to increase the cost. That price is going to go up on when you're in Florida.
I do believe that there might be a market for us just bottling up the old water here in Youngstown.
That's an idea.
Maybe a little bit of rust in there or something that's making it taste better. I don't know. No.
I just
Yeah. All right. So, favorite pizza in town?
Bellaria, Wick Avenue.
Okay.
That's 1.
Okay.
Wedgwood, 2. Uptown, 3. And Avalon, 4.
Okay.
I
mean, it's hard. And I'm not feeling slighted at 4. If those are 4 good ones, right? They're pretty top notch.
I mean, Fernando will always and forever be one of my favorite human beings
When I
in this community.
first started dating my wife, she's from Austintown. I'm from Hubbard. I didn't get it, right? And then the first time you go in there and you pick up your pizza, whatever, 20 years ago at this point, it's different. It's Fernando's in there. He's telling everyone what to do. It's like your best friend's Italian grandma in there just going at it. I still have that picture in my mind of what it was like the first time I walked into that place.
And I tell people from the Cleveland, Twinsburg area, there's no better food than in the Youngstown region.
Yeah.
It's special here. It's special. The food here is amazing.
What's a cool melting pot here?
Absolutely,
I mean, like the Italian food is spectacular here. Obviously, the pizza, not too shabby. We got Handel's ice cream. We just had this cool like combination of people that immigrated here originally. And then you get to Belmont, where our office is at, kind of on the north side of Youngstown. And it's this cool mixing pot of other things. You've got a great Indian restaurant. You've got Kravitz Deli. You've got Jimmy's Italian Deli. Like, there's just so many great options here. I think that's something that we don't get enough credit for in this community. Is that, hey, there's some great food here. We also have the second largest municipal park in the country, second to Central Park and Mill Creek Park. I mean, Mill Creek Park is beautiful. If you're not, especially this time of the year, if you don't find yourself at least once a month going out and hiking on the hiking trails, watching the leaves change.
I mean, bald eagles. I saw bald eagle last year out there just sitting in a tree.
Yeah. There's nothing more majestic than watching a bald eagle. Right?
That's amazing.
Especially when that sucker flies down and grabs something out of the lake.
Yeah, I thought it was going to grab me. They're huge.
Yeah, they got hands the size of yours, Billy. You got to watch out for those things.
Seriously. Yeah, we are very, very lucky here. I mean, there's so many of those parks. Even you go to like the Boardman Park, all my disc golf world for sure. But it's something that's free. It's in these parks. There's people walking. It's across the board. I mean, we are very spoiled.
So, just kind of buttoning things up, Matt. Like we talk a lot about failures on this podcast, the things that we've learned from those failures, and look back at your story and where you've ultimately ended up here today and the impact that you're making in our community and the people that you're helping, because, those 6 cohorts with 25 people or so, you're helping those people get their business started, right? And then those 25 people in each class are starting a business, which are helping others in the community. So there's an exponential compounding that's happening here because of what you guys are doing at Valley Partners. And you get to be at the center of that. You get to see that. You get to impact that change on a regular basis. You're guiding and helping people that traditionally and historically have not received that kind of assistance here in our community. So if you could look back at the things that have led you here today, right, and the change and the pivot that you had to take from thinking you wanted to be a lawyer and then ultimately finding yourself in this position where you're helping people every single day, and you're creating this exponential impact in our community. You have the opportunity to go back to yourself at 22 years old. LSAT's just punched you in the face, and it was dark times for you in that moment because you're questioning everything, right? And you're thinking, did I make the wrong choice? What do I do now? But now you find yourself not only with this opportunity to impact change in this community, but also seeing the opportunity that's in front of you in this community with all these businesses that are changing, the dynamic of our region changing. What do you go back and say to yourself at 22 years old now?
Stop comparing yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy.
That's right.
That's where I believe I found myself at that time.
Yeah.
They say adversity introduces a person to themselves. I was introduced to myself at that time.
Right.
Because you're looking at life, what do I do now?
Yep.
Because I had the experience of helping my dad, his business, and my mom, she had her business as well. Now I'm able to learn what they had and did not have as far as resources is concerned. Now I'm helping the clients now with that lens of how could I have helped my parents take their businesses to the next level. So I come with it with a lens of compassion and passion. So that's why my heart is in it. My heart is, I want to see these clients win. Right, by all costs. I want to see them win. How? By putting them in the best position. Right? I can't guarantee, but if you follow this blueprint, I promise you, we can help. So, and I can't. It would be. I have to say, teamwork. It does, in fact, make the dream work. It takes a team, like we talked about, the team at Valley Partners, led by Teresa, and I hate naming names because I may forget.
You're going to miss somebody.
Right, I'm going to miss someone.
Yeah, they're all amazing over there, I will say.
Let's give it a shot. Teresa, Mario, Maureen, Wendy, Tanae, Ayana, Tamaya, Katie, Madison, myself, and I'll probably miss one, but that's Ayana. So it's the team. It does that we rally around to help the client's dream come to pass. So if I would tell myself, enjoy the journey, don't rush to get to the next, absorb everything that you can, find a good mentor in a good community that when those not dark times, those down times do come, that you're plugged into a community that help rally around you. Because that's what happened. Those down times, it got down. They didn't know what moves to make. Then we got out of that. I got out of that by a community, by the love of family and the good system that I was taught by my grandmother and my parents about how to, when those tough times come, what to do. So that's what I was saying. Don't look back. Don't compare. Absorb everything now because it's not always going to be like this. This is just a chapter in a book. The whole book is not bad.
Yeah.
It's just one paragraph of that book is challenging, but just.
It'd be a pretty boring story if everything was just amazing,
Yes.
right? I mean,
Absolutely.
you have to see that, the change and the cycle of what got you to where you are.
Right.
Everyone should be very proud of you. That's for sure.
That means a lot. Thank you so much.
Happy to work. I know I am so happy to have you on the other side of this equation. We get to work together.
Yes.
Even when it's not a fit, you call me and say, hey, I need some help. I know this person. I appreciate that so much.
Absolutely, same.
It's a special community that we've had.
Absolutely. And I'll say this to you both. People look up to you both. So I like to encourage you to keep doing what you guys are doing. You have a lot of eyes on you that you may not know. I'll look up to you both that you probably won't even know it. I tell at home, I tell people, Tim and Will, they got it. They get it. They get it, what you all are building. And I remember when I was going through, I was thinking about, okay, where do I go from here after I went to graduate school? I said, I want to have impact and influence, whatever that dream career would be. Mm-hmm. Impact, influence, and income. The 3 I's. Impact, influence, and income. That's what I wanted.
Yep.
And I can honestly say, without being biased, you all at HD, the team, you all are making a huge impact and an influence in this region. So I'll look up to you both. You guys are killing the game.
Thanks,
so
man. That's awesome.
Keep doing it.
Appreciate
for sure.
you. Yeah.
For sure. I couldn't agree with that statement of the 3 I's, and I think that is really interesting when you think about the opportunity in Youngstown.
Yeah.
Because that was something that I never really thought about as I was coming up in business here. And I knew that I could make a living. And I knew that I could have the income, right? And I knew that I could provide for my family here. I knew that the cost of living was relatively affordable, and there was an opportunity to do that. What I didn't see, what I didn't understand was that ability to have that impact and to influence others.
Yep.
In a short period of time, in what we've built in our firm, I feel that we've created that opportunity for our employees to have all 3 of those things, and all of our team members to be able to do that. And it happened a lot faster than I ever would have imagined. Mm-hmm. I never in a million years would have thought that all of those things would be possible. And I think that opportunity isn't the same in every city. All right, you get into a bigger city. You go to Chicago, you go to New York, you go to Austin, you go to L.A., you go to San Francisco, whatever. And to move the needle in a community that large with generational wealth and generational successes and all the infrastructure and bureaucracy that's in place, if you can find yourself in one of the communities like Youngstown where you can make an income, you can have a living, but you can also make an impact and you can have influence. It is the most rewarding thing to be able to put those 3 things together. You've hit the nail on the head, man, that's the real opportunity here. The real opportunity in this region is to have the 3 I's within reach.
Yes, sir.
Is to be able to get them all. Because it would be very easy to go to New York City. Maybe not very easy, but you can go make the money. Yeah. Right? You can go put your head down, you can grind, you can make the money. But are you going to have the others? Yeah. Are you going to have impact? The likelihood is no. The percentage of success at that magnitude in a city like that is tough. You go learn and cut your teeth there. And then when it comes time to come home and fill the bucket with the rest of the stuff, because that's the stuff that makes going to work exciting every day. Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, I've seen a lot of people that make a bunch of money that are just miserable human beings. Wow. I mean, and you would think, oh, well, somebody makes $1 million a year. What do they have to be sad about? Mm-hmm. A lot. Yeah. I mean, they're going to a job every day that they hate. They don't get to spend time with their family. They don't get to enjoy their community. They don't get to give back. I mean, that is the true opportunity here. And I think that we need to do a better job of telling the stories here in this community. I think we need to get more and more Matt Longmires that are bringing the right energy into the right rooms. We're thrilled to have you. I am very excited every time I get to see you when I play Frogger running across the street to come teach. So thank you very much, Matt, for hanging out with us today. This was great. I think that there's a lot of great things that people learn from this today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for listening. This podcast wouldn't be possible without Stonefruit Studios and Bentley Studios. If you'd like to support the podcast, the most impactful thing you can do is subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, and leave a review and/or comment. If you found this episode particularly helpful, we also encourage you to share it with a friend or on social media. Until next time, keep learning, growing, and failing forward.